Guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to talk to you about the 5 secrets of being able to be hired as a mortgage loan officer. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I'm actually hiring loan officers. So if you're interested, make sure to make note, watch the video until the end, and we'll take it from there. So to get things going, I put down on paper a couple different things that I would be looking for in an originator. By the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Zevi Shafran, and I'm the owner of a company called Loanbrook Inc. We originate both residential and commercial loans. And I'm looking for new originators, and I wanted to kind of line it up for you and let you know what it is that I'm looking for. Now, in talking to other shop owners, it seems like everyone has a slightly different vision of what they're looking for. Some people believe that bringing people on board that are really not that experienced would be a good thing because they can mold them to be the type of originator that they want in their shop. Other people are, shying away from people who don't have experience. And so I guess it really depends on the shop owner and their preference, so I really can't speak to all, but I can just give you a general idea of what most people would be looking for. So if you're interested in learning more about that, come to the right place. With that, let's get started. The first piece of the puzzle is the licensing piece. Now, I've talked about this in other videos, particularly because it really depends on where you're going to work. So you do want to be NMLS licensed. In our shop specifically, we do have an endorsement on a real estate license. So if you do come to work with Loanbrook, as an example, you do need to have a real estate license, and we're in LA in California, and you do need to have an endorsement through NMLS to be able to originate a residential mortgage. Now, the thing is, it's not necessary if you're going to originate only private money and commercial, because those don't actually require an NMLS license, and quite frankly, they're a lot easier to do, and some of the commissions are a lot larger. So definitely something to keep in mind if you're thinking of getting into the business. Now, I can tell you this, and I'm sure other shop owners would look at it very similarly. If you have a high level of education, specifically a bachelor degree or higher, that automatically tells us that you're the kind of person who would take school and learning seriously. And it does make your application or your resume to us seem a little bit stronger, to be quite honest, because I feel like anyone that's coming on board is a reflection of the company, and you do want the company to look the best possible to their clients. The business itself is designed around being a salesperson, and that's the truth. So your work ethic will have a lot to do with it, and that's where I'm going to roll into number 2, which is sales. Talking about sales, there's 3 things that come to mind. 1, being able to generate leads. And that's not easy to do, especially in the beginning if you don't have a following or a book of business, which is another thing that I think many shop owners would look for. And it actually happened to me when I was first trying to get hired. No matter what I said, the thing that they kept reverting to is, do you have a book of business? Do you have clients? Because if you don't, they're like, well, God knows how long it's going to take this person to get an actual transaction on the books. So that was number 1. And then building relationships is huge. So you do want to have that type of a persona, the kind of person that does want to go out there and build relationship with different referral partners, because in this business, the best way to get leads is through real estate agents, attorneys, CPAs, builders. Those are the best type of transactions you're going to get. It's not that it's not possible to originate leads from online or buy them, but they're not as warm and they don't convert nearly as much. So that's definitely something you want to keep in mind. Lastly, you want to be somebody who can initiate a transaction and then push the client enough, not in a bad way, just for them to do what they need to do so you can close the deal. If you're very lax and laid back, sometimes that would create a challenge, because the one thing that I've noticed in this business is that you're very much a cheerleader in the transaction. You constantly have to update the borrower and let them know where they're at and what they need. They don't know. And so unless there's somebody there telling them, hey, FYI, did you do this? Did you do that? Now, mind you, when a borrower goes into a transaction, they're going to have a processor, they're going to have a coordinator, they will have people asking them for things, but sometimes they need that little push. Did you get it done? I would say that's a good general overview of what we would be looking for in the sales department as we move on to the knowledge department. Now, I understand that if somebody comes on board and they've never done loans, likely they're not going to have a whole lot of knowledge about how to transact, so forth. However, there is something, and I think it's actually the most important thing, when you're talking to somebody who wants to come on board, join the team. And what it is, does this person want a job or are they looking for a career? And there's a very big difference, because somebody called me up a few weeks ago and they said, oh, I would love to join your team. And I said, okay, wonderful. Do you have any experience? And they said, yes, we have an experience as a mortgage loan originator, closed X amount of deals. I said, okay, great. And as they're talking to me, they're telling me, yes, because I'm in school to be an attorney and it's going to take a few more years. So I'm trying to generate more income on the side. Meanwhile, I'm flipping a house. And so I told this individual, I said, well, you sound like you might be very qualified. However, it seems like you got a lot of things going on your plate right now. And that's not necessarily the kind of person I'm looking for, because I'm looking for a team member who's going to contribute to the team 100% and grow with the team. Make this into a career, something that's long-term. I would hate to invest a ton of time and knowledge into somebody who's just going to be with us for a very short period of time and then leave. Now, I can understand people leaving their job because they're not happy. However, I would like to think that we create a very happy working environment. So the type of person that I would be looking for my shop is somebody who's very much career-oriented, not so much somebody who's just looking for a paycheck. All right, so that's knowledge for you. Now, going into number 4, which is communication. You got to be able to communicate with people in 2 ways. Number 1, you got to be friendly. And this may sound silly, but I've actually had people on the team that I had to let go. They were very knowledgeable, but when it came down to it, they just weren't that friendly. Borrowers especially get frustrated when you're trying to explain things to them that they already don't understand. And you have to be very patient and you have to be very friendly. People don't like dealing with people who constantly have other things going on in their lives, and they all kind of seem to funnel into their work path. And that's kind of what I've found, is that people bring in a bunch of things that are completely unrelated to what we're doing here, and they get very frustrated, and it all kind of channels into this. And so I've learned that the best way to do it is, if you're gonna hire somebody, make sure that they're a good communicator, that they're friendly, and it's very simple for them to get the message across, because if it's very difficult and complicated, then people just get very frustrated. All right, so that's communication for you. And then I think the last part to this puzzle, number 5, is the tech piece. You would like to think that somebody can understand the platform that you're already working on. Now, I can tell you from previous experience in trying to hire processors and coordinators, I specifically put in the job description somebody who already knows how to use the software that we use. Because, it's one thing knowing the business, but it's another thing being able to speak the language. And the funny thing is, when somebody can plug and play straight into your software, gosh, it makes it so much easier. Now, I can tell you, as a new loan officer, there are online courses that you could literally go through and learn a lot about the software. So if I was going to join a broker shop as a beginner loan officer, I would go through the process of basically this journey, knowing that I'm properly licensed to where I was going to work. I would make sure to make a list of the different sales jobs or positions that I've held, how I generated leads and how I built relationships. I would study about loans, so when I come and have an initial conversation, it doesn't seem like I'm just somebody who is trying to join a shop and have them teach me everything. I would like to think that I'm somebody who actually did a little bit of homework. I would try to set my best foot forward in communication and show that I constantly have a smile on my face, I'm friendly, and I'm a good communicator. And lastly, I would make an effort to understand the software that they're working on, or maybe I would even study the 2 or 3 different software that are available, and I would ask them, which one do you guys use? And that would actually impress me very much, to be quite honest, because it looks like you're very proactive in doing your homework. So those are the things that I would be looking for. We are hiring, ironically. So if you're somebody who's thinking of getting into the mortgage industry, feel free to drop me a comment. Let me know. I'll be happy to jump on a phone call with you, see if you're the right fit for our company. Again, we do require a real estate license through the Department of Real Estate with an NMLS endorsement, all right? Hopefully this was educational. Hopefully you got some value out of this. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button simply so we can push this video a little bit forward through the Google algorithm and let them know that it's relevant to what you're trying to learn. And if you actually want to see more videos like this, then make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I would highly appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for watching this, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.